Good morning, everyone, or afternoon. This is Tracy Brown, your somatic nutrition therapist and attuned eating expert. And we're going to answer some questions from Wednesday's video about food myths and food rules. And I essentially had one food rule actually that came up 3 times. So that will be easy for us today, right? And then we had one discussion piece. And so we're going to jump right into that one. So the question was, basically, I need some language around when I discuss my non-diet eating journey, and everybody around me knee jerks and says, oh, you're gonna just eat all the foods and you're gonna let yourself go, huh? And obviously that's exactly what you didn't say. It's really frustrating. And I wish that wasn't the case, but again, we are in a, 4th generation, probably world at this point, maybe obviously much longer, of people that you could probably name in your lineage, yourself, your mother, or going back at least 2, if not 3 generations of people in your immediate circumstances, not even counting work, the other professionals you might interact with in your life, is that people think that eating what you want means you won't be able to stop. And when you hear that, that's a black and white statement, right? Oh, if I ate that, I would never stop eating it and I would be like 1,000 pounds. One, they're saying 2 things. They're projecting 2 things at you. One, they have a lot of terror about their own internal ability to trust themselves because they've been disembodied for so long. So the idea of like eating a piece of cake means for them in their head, because they never let themselves have cake and they think that cake is the worst thing ever, that they'll never stop eating it. Probably because their experience was the last time they had some cake, they felt out of control because maybe they were too hungry, or they had a piece and they ate a big enough piece of it to where they didn't feel great. And so that it's almost like a confirmation bias. Oh, when I eat cake, I can never stop. Which we both know. All of us here know that's not true. You have a limited capacity to put food in. Eventually you will stop for sure. But really, it's bigger than that. When people project on you, when you say, you know what, I'm going to stop dieting and I'm going to eat what I want when I'm hungry and then do my best to stop when I'm full most of the time and all that, you're saying, I'm just trying to eat normally, the way we were born to eat. People hear, oh, I would be so out of control if I did that. That's stupid, or I can't do that. That's too scary. And they'll go on to tell you why it doesn't work. All right? So they're not really hearing you. So my suggestion is, if you're on this journey, you do have to be discerning. You don't just tell everybody your secrets, right? And this is not a secret, but if a person cannot be trusted to listen to you, to be curious, you can be compassionate, and to ask questions, maybe it's best that you don't bring it up until you feel stronger with people's projection, because people are going to project, and that shouldn't be your fault that people project on you, but it is what it is. Again, because we have to remember, most people have been indoctrinated now many years. So let's say if your great grandmother was indoctrinated with diet culture and she had a lot of body hatred and all the things, don't you think she probably influenced her daughter or son, who influenced their daughters and sons, and so on? So now you're going to have this lineage here. And that's why it's so hard for people to hear maybe what we have to say for a while, okay? So it's important that you get stronger within yourself, that you believe in your experiences that this has helped me have freedom, no matter what anybody else thinks. So important. So if you decide to share this with somebody, though, and they hate, like, oh, I could never do that. I'd be so out of control. And what do you mean to eat all the foods? You'll never stop. And it's like, oh, is that what you heard me say? That it's a free-for-all. That's actually not what eating from hunger or fullness is about. It's actually about, we have this natural system that tells us when we're hungry, when we've had enough. It gives us discernment about, like, yeah, I'm not kind of feeling that today, and oh, I need more of that. And sometimes there's not much loud feedback about that, and you just eat a variety of foods out of choice without it being, I'm trying to earn my worth by doing this. And people are going to think you have 3 heads. That's okay. The more that you walk around in the world, steady and stable and not reactive around food, they're going to start to like notice that even more than what you say. Okay? So that's point one. And then the other discussion piece that people had for me around like food myths and food rules, that basically carbs and sugar are bad, that they're toxic, that they're going to kill you. And I'm just going to leave it with this couple little points here. There are carbs and sugar in breast milk, people. So if it was a toxic substance that would kill you, then probably we wouldn't have been designed to give this as first fuel for our little babies. I'm just going to put it that way. And I know that as adults, we're not drinking breast milk anymore. So if we want to apply it more to us as adults, is look, we know that our brains need a minimum amount of glucose per day. I'm not going to put the number, only because I would love to educate people on that. It's just that I know there are going to be some people who watch this video and like, oh, well, I'll only eat that as my minimum. It's in the hundreds, I'll just put it this way. So you need to be eating way, way, way more carbs. And some of it's going to be in the form of, you know, maybe some glucose and fructose and sucrose, which is sugar from fruit or sugar from the baked goods you eat. That is not a problem. That is not toxic. The reason that's really difficult for people sometimes is because, again, they're in a restrictive mindset. And when they eat it, it's hard to stop. But when we get to the place where we're eating all the foods, we're calorically nourished enough, and we have working on uncoupling some of our emotional hungers from food, you're going to find that sugar's just, it's sitting there and you can take it or leave it. Okay? And when you do eat it, you really enjoy it. So that's not a, I know I didn't get a ton of science in that because I don't know that we need it. It's like you all know that you have to have carbs. If you don't, you binge. Everybody here has had that experience. So we kind of have, I think we need to trust that. But again, there's only 3 macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fat, naturally occurring in the world and the things that we eat. So that's something else to kind of think on as well. I hope this helps you. If you're needing more specific information or consulting, coaching with your individual issue, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to help. But in general, keep watching these videos. And if you have more questions and want me to go deeper with them, like these talking points I did today, then please put them in the comments below, and we'll do some videos about that and connect. So thank you all so much for the comments that you allowed me to unpack here on the video. And I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Bye for now.